I hear the unfamiliar sound of an alarm. An alarm clock is ringing, but whose is it? Knock it off already, alright? Just give me 5 more minutes. Ah, that sound is... Isn't that the new alarm clock I just bought? Why did I buy a new clock again? The dormitory! Oh crap! Well, that's a pretty nice room. I just came here into room 204 of the Kanishinomori Academy's boys' dormitory yesterday. Though, in spite of that, I was out like a light as soon as I hit my futon. That's right, this is going to be my new home and I haven't even finished putting my luggage away yet. I quickly tapped the alarm button and shut it off. Having just woken up, Kaoru calls out my name with a sleepy voice. Sorry, did I wake you?
目覚ましが鳴ったってことはもう起きる時間でしょ。だからいいんだよ。
Well, with these clothes, he actually looks really feminine. Ah, that's right. Good morning.
おはよう。
The dorm leader greeted us with some words of wisdom yesterday as we entered the dormitory. He said, as long as you're here, you'll be classmates, roommates, and rivals. Be aware of each other, help each other, compete with each other. That's how I want you to live in this dorm. Passionate words, indeed. However... Kaoru stretches his arms, yawning without so much as a care in the world. Kaoru is as beautiful as any girl. Watching him yawn and seeing his hair still a disheveled mess arouses a strange mix of fear and excitement in me. Having to think of someone like that as a rival. Are you kidding me?
どうしたの?
Nothing. Forget about it. I quickly look away, embarrassed for some unfathomable reason. Let's change first and head to the cafeteria. Breakfast will probably be a while.
そうだね。
Because we've only had the entrance ceremony and inspection yesterday, today is our first day of class. As we change our clothes, show down on breakfast, and finally head to school, I feel my heart heavy with a mix of anxiety and anticipation. Beginning one's Doryoku training starts off with getting used to the vessel you're assigned. In order to amplify its user's power, the vessel consolidates and controls the flow of Doryoku. Once you've become accustomed to it, the strength of your Doryoku will naturally increase.
Seiji, miro! Ore no kono kakkoi doryoku yo!
Jin shouts happily while brandishing his spear. Hey, that's dangerous! Quit showing off like that! Just as I am distancing myself from Jin's reckless antics, I catch sight of Akane unsheathing her greatsword.
ピーテイロー、貸の森学園に靖国茜ありと言われるほど私は強くなってみせる。
You too? What are you going to do if you accidentally hurt someone? These guys are really something else, not that the others are much different. Even in this kind of adrenaline-pumping situation, Kamishiro's just standing around with the same bored expression as always. Is she still feeling dissatisfied about yesterday? Maybe she could use someone to hear her out. Just as I'm about to walk over, however, Akane's voice pulls me back.
Seiichi! 見るがいい! 私の動力を! Ha!
Brandishing her greatsword, Akane swings it down with might. A small fireball is released, but quickly disappears into the sky. Maybe it's just because the sword's so big, but that fireball sure seemed small.
気合は十分なのだが、やはりまだ修行が足りないということか。
Akane sighs. This is my chance to get away while she's distracted. With stealth-like steps, I slip away from Akane. Suddenly, it feels as though someone's grabbed a hold of my trousers. A shiver runs through me. Yeah!
はははどうだセイジ俺の動力は
So you did that on purpose?
いたずらとは聞こえの悪い。こいつは俺の訓練だぞ。寮長も言ってただろ。俺たちはクラスメートだが同時にライバルだと。
Then don't go using your doryoku on me like that.
はっはっは、もう一度食らいたいか。はあ。
Hey, what's wrong?
動力の使いすぎで立ちくらみが。
You need to rest a bit. While Jin struggles to catch his breath, a certain voice, tinged with anger, roars out.
こらこら、自分がしおれてどうするか、バカ者。
大丈夫です師匠。これぐらい気合でなんとか。
As Jin struggles to stand up, his strength suddenly gives out and he collapses.
保健委員、このアホを邪魔にならないところへ連れて行け。
Jin quickly gets dragged away by the nurse for treatment.
ああ、兄貴ってばまたやってる。体調が悪いのに根性で動力を使うから。
Chiharu says this with an exasperated voice, briskly making her way over to him with a wilted flower in hand. It must be frustrating with his condition always like that.
まあね。でも僕からしたら慣れたもんだよ。
Chiharu laments while stroking the wilted flower. Amazingly, the flower that was wilted just a moment ago regains its flawless beauty as if it had just bloomed. Wow, so that's your ability, huh?
そう。じゃあこの力でバカ兄貴のこともちょっと回復してくるよ。じゃあね。
Chiharu jokes as she makes her way over to where Jin is. Now then, Kamishiro. With some time to myself at last, I look towards Kamishiro again. Kamishiro is still standing in the same place she was before.
こういうの好きじゃない。
I hear Kamishiro mutter in a small voice. While she's doing so, however, she's lightly swinging her sword around. Wah! Despite the fact that she isn't moving around much, the air around the tip of her sword is frighteningly cold. Footpaths, trees, and everything else in its path are frozen in a beautiful sheen of pure white. Though Fujishima-sensei seems pleased, everyone else is just sitting around idly. Really, even though it looks like she's not doing much, Kamishiro's doryoku powers are amazingly high.
すごいな、トウコ。
Still frustrated over her consistently small flame, Akane hurries over to Toko.
別に普通。
普通か。よし、私も。
Her enthusiasm rising, Akane swings her sword at the tree frozen by Kamishiro. A fireball appears in the air and slowly drifts towards the frozen tree like a soap bubble. As soon as it makes contact though, it fizzles out and disappears.
消えた。
もう一度。そりゃ。まだまだ。
火力が足りなすぎる。
ならば数で補えばよい。そりゃ。ダメか。
こういう場合焼け石に水とは言わないか。
そもそも基本の能力値が違いすぎね。無駄だってわからないのかしら。もっとだ。トゥーリアー。
ねえ靖国さん、もうやめたら。
あなたは確か湊と言ったか。昨日の昼休み太田と一緒にいたな。
ええ、彼とは古くから知り合いなの。はじめまして靖国さん。
ああ、はじめまして湊。それでなぜやめなくてはならないのだ。これは鍛錬だ。ならば全力を尽くすのが道理なはず。
分かってないみたいね。あなた今自分の仮面に泥を塗っているのよ。
Disgrace? That's a little harsh, don't you think?
いや、猪田誠一。
Akane placed a hand on my shoulder, holding me back before I could say any more.
湊そうか、もしやと思っていたが、今の言葉で確信した。あなたは湊家のものか。
ええ、そうよ。
なるほど。だから昨日の適正判断でも動力機の扱いに慣れていたのだな。合点がいった。
I didn't bother checking anybody else out, but it looks like Akane did. Now I'm a little bit intrigued at Akane, who, unlike myself, was dutifully sassing her peers. What's the Minato house?
ああ、彼女の家も我が靖国家と同様、琴名討伐において大きな功績を残した一族なんだ。
もっとも、うちには靖国家のような政権もないし、知名度も一段下だけどね。
So she says with a cold tone, ripe with sarcasm. Still, Minato is from a distinguished family of Doryoku users too. In other words, she's another elite among the elite.
動力使いは家柄だけでなく実力がものを言うからな。知名度など飾りに過ぎない。現にこの私が政権の一つは使いこなせていない。
そうみたいね。だから忠告しているのがわからないのかしら。まあ、せいぜい好きにするというわ。
After saying that, Minato left. She's a cool beauty type, almost like Kamishiro.
大場は今、私の顔を見て失礼なことを思ってる。
No, it's not rude, but... Kamishiro's glance is strangely sharp.
靖国は靖国の考えであればいい。気にする必要はない。
ありがとう、トウコ。何？あれくらいのこと言われ慣れてる。そう簡単に私の思いは燃え尽きないぞ。
Akane wasn't going to let herself be discouraged by slander like that. In order to melt Kamishiro's eyes, she grasps her vessel once more. Do your best, Akane. With a weak power like that though, melting that ice could be difficult, to say the least. But as long as she holds onto that spirit of hers, she might be able to do it someday. Anyway, I should be worrying about myself first. Taking a look at the normal sword in my hand, I can't help but sigh. Apparently, this serves as the foundation for a Doryoku vessel, but right now it's no better than a normal sword. If what everyone else is using could be likened to be a bicycle, then this is a tricycle. It's something that'll help imprint the basic of basics, simple and low quality. Even though it's so simple, I haven't mastered it yet. A vast pool of Doryoku power is stored in my body, which was found during the Doryoku measuring test. Just how am I supposed to bring it out? It's said that a Doryoku user is able to understand their power's nature all on their own, but I can't seem to grasp it at all.
何をぼーっとしとるのだ、大場。
Ah, I'm not daydreaming. I'm just stuck because I can't figure out how to use this thing.
同じだろうが、バカ者。
Ouch!
動力が使えないのなら、とりあえず素振りでもしていろ。
Practice swings, huh?
動力機を体に馴染ませるには、やはり素振りが一番効果的だからな。
You say it's effective, but will I really be able to use Doryoku this way? Though I felt like I just said something ridiculous, Fujishima-sensei doesn't appear angry at all. Instead, she just patiently explains to me.
動力を貯水タンクの水に例えて考えろ。動力機は水を使うための蛇口だとしよう。
Tank and faucet.
ここにいるみんなは、貯水タンクと動力機をつなぐパイプを持っているわけだ。蛇口をひねれば水が出るし、ひねる大きさで水の量が変わる。
Indeed, it's an easy to understand analogy.
貴様の場合は、貯水タンクどころかダム並みの大きさを持っている。
Analogy-wise, it should be like that.
で、ここに蛇口がある。
Fujishima-sensei places her hand on mine, the one that holds my sword. She's forceful and the palm of her hand is hot. It's almost like Sensei's confidence and passion is flowing directly into me.
貴様に足りないものは、ここへ水を通すパイプかもしれん。
So, the pipe.
あるいはパイプがあったとしても、どこかの弁が閉じているとも考えられる。 そうなれば蛇口をひねっても水は出ない。
So, if that's the case, what should I do? Though I have my doubts, Fujishima sensei replies promptly.
わからん。
What? You don't know? There's a lot more I want to ask, but Fujishima sensei's gaze just keeps wandering around.
貯水タンクが大きいもの、小さいもの、パイプが太いもの、細いもの、蛇口のコントロールがうまいもの、下手なもの。そしてその水が毒になったり薬になったりと、ここには様々なものが集まっているが、貴様のようなタイプは過去に一人も入学していない。
Well, I can understand that.
膨大な水で潤ったダムを背負っているくせに渇水しているも同然だからな。
That's a cruel way to put it, but I think she's right. How should I start?
まずは素振りだ。
Fujishima sensei repeated that clearly.
貴様が動力が使えないわけが判明し、使えるようになる方法が判明する日がいつか来る。いいか、絶対にだ。その時貴様自身が貴様の持つ膨大な動力に耐えきれない。そんなことがないとは言える。だからそうならないように常日頃から備えておくのだ。
Right, so I've got no choice but to wait for now. All I can do is train for that day.
その通りだ。もう一つ貴様に忠告しておく。
Yes, what is it?
決して諦めるな。それだけだ。
After that simple but powerful message, Fujishima sensei walks off toward the other students. Never give up. Got it. I turn back my attention towards Akane.
まだまだ
Akane is still giving her all to try and melt the ice that Kamishiro made. It looks like she really won't give up. Excluding me, Akane is obviously the weakest Doryoku user in the S class. Yet, in spite of that, Akane keeps up her training without the slightest thought of giving up. She works harder than anyone else. Alright, time to start my training. With Fujishima sensei's words ringing in my head and Akane's feelings burning in my heart, I feel a lot more determined. I'll be counting on you, partner. As I talk to the sword, I begin my practice swings with a renewed determination.
ただの剣を持ってただの素振りだなんて、トライエスの動力使いがすることとは到底思えないな。
Huh? Hearing Ota's voice, I quickly turn around to see him standing there. Being able to use a sword well is important for our training too.
君は本当にそんなことをしていていいのか？
Ota said to me, his eyes concealing a bit of suspicion. What do you mean?
力を発動させられるようになろうとは思わないのか？
I think, for the moment, I should follow Fujishima sensei's advice and practice swinging my sword.
なるほどな。
Not to mention, this is the best I can do right now.
そうか。俺には大場のしてることが精一杯に見えないな。動力を発動させるにはもっといろいろなことができるだろう。
I guess from Ota's perspective, what I am doing now must seem really low level. But I am seriously working to bring out my own Doryoku.
C クラスでもっと専門的に動力について学んでみるとか、どこかの研究機関にトライエスであることを売り込んでみるとかあるだろう。
Yeah, I could. What Ota is saying, I can't say it never crossed my mind. But still, I want to work hard here in this S class. I definitely don't want to wind up as someone's guinea pig in a laboratory somewhere.
すまん。少しきつく言い過ぎたな。でも勘違いしないでくれ。別に大場のことを責めてるわけじゃないんだ。
Eh? I thought I was being criticized, but it looks like that might not have been so.
俺は俺自身が恥ずかしいんだ。動力を使えないものを自分の目標なんかにしてしまう。
That's my fault. I should have told you earlier that I can't use my Doryoku. I also apologize to Ota. It doesn't matter that Ota misunderstood the situation on his own. It's difficult for me to say that I wasn't at fault as well. However, Ota doesn't say anything. Rather, he just stands there and stares at me quietly. Ota?
謝るくらいなら大場はちゃんと動力を発動させてくれよ。
Right.
俺が大場に望むのは 謝罪の言葉でも言い訳でもない。動力を発動させることだ。それまで俺は決して君を認めないからな。
It was a declaration of war. Ota's that kind of guy, one who desires an honest rivalry, stripped of any notion of optimism or forgiveness. He's an extremely prideful and honest man.
それだけだ。練習邪魔したな。
After Ota says that as he walks away. I'm not going to give up just because things aren't going my way. I'm absolutely going to awaken my doryoku. After that encounter with Ota, I feel my fighting spirit burning like magma.
レアルからしてこの式の回は
Math. Next time on Koiken Otome. Thanks for watching everyone and have a nice day. Bye bye.